wants his team to do well. So insofar as he wants his team to do well, he needs to know who in the proximity of that student is potentially sick. He realizes that the student's best friend is sick. And he asks the principal, he says, hey, you know, I realize that he spends a lot of time with this other kid. If it's okay with his teachers, and it's okay with him, can he do his work in the office, in the front room? Can he do it in a different place for this week so that he doesn't get sick? The principal says, I don't really care, as long as the kid does his work, it's cool. So, he goes and he quarantines, in a sense, right? Quarantines the kid. Kid does his work. He doesn't catch the flu. He plays, he scores the big points like he was supposed to. The next week, there is no game. Coach knows there is no game. Star player knows there is no game. There's no need to make sure that this kid is in a influenza-free environment. And sure enough, the kid gets the flu the next week. The idea might be, oh my goodness, that's wrong. That's wrong. See, they just used the kid. They used the kid in order to score the high points. They scored the high points, and then after that, he didn't really care whether the kid was sick or not. Was it his role to care? Was it his role to care? I didn't know. I would love to hear that. I'll let the ethicists write the book on that, because I'm not. The point is, I need to make a decision. I need to make that decision now. I need to know who in this community is sick. I need to know everyone who is sick, who has contact with this person. And insofar as I need this information, that information must be time sensitive, because if I don't have that information in time, then he might get sick and compromise the game. Super ghetto. A 4-year-old can understand that. Now, next level up in terms of, and I'm not going to, I've just begun, this is why I'm on page 2.2, but I want to just give you a sense of what to expect. This is a very slow process. In terms of intelligence, it's not just that we're talking about intelligence. Intelligence is a means. Intelligence is not an end. It is an end for those within the intelligence community, right? That's their ultimate, right? So their consequence, the thing with which they posit as goal, is intelligence. So for members of the intelligence community, the end product, the deliverable, the product of their work is the end state. That's what they want. I'm sort of that kind of guy. I like that idea of, listen, the end goal of my product, what I'm responsible for, is to make sure that this information is absolutely as clear as possible. I take all of the complex stuff and I make it totally intelligible so that other people can make decisions on it. That's the end goal for the intelligence community. But it is only a means. It's a means to transferring and the transference of that intelligence to those who are going to make decisions based on the intelligence. People who are going to make decisions based on the intelligence don't have the training, nor should they have the training that members of the intelligence community have. And they, policymakers, have a timeline. Dude, I got to figure out if we should move on this date, and I need that information ASAP. Because we have to make adjustments. Okay, as best as I know, here's the information, delivered in a timely manner, so that decisions can be effectively made and that those decisions will be time sensitive. So this is not a, we got to get this going. That's what we're talking about, perpetually. 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, non-stop, 7 days a week. Some decisions might not have the immediacy. Some decisions might not have the immediacy that others do, and thus you can compile more information and more complex information. But the only reason you're able, this is important, look how deep we got already, right? This is a gem. The only reason you're able to compile more complex intel is solely because the time sensitivity is a bit more relaxed. It's not the other way around. It's not because I want to. No, you are afforded complex intelligence gathering because there isn't a pressure for time sensitivity. We got a couple years. Gather as much research as you possibly can, break it down as much as you can, and give us something really solid. Cool, no problem. But when we need that intel now, we want it to be good, but we recognize that it's not going to be as complex as it might have been were we to give more time, right? So you see the interrelation already. All of this industry is going to be built on that process function of the relationship between the intelligence cycle and those within the intelligence community and their relationship to policymakers. And we've already seen something emerge from this. And the first emergence from this interrelationship is the priority of the decision over, right? I need to make a decision, and that decision priority sets the precedence. It sets the precedence for the intelligence community, as it should be, right? I'll talk about systemic weaknesses in that relationship later, but if you understand that, then we're off to a really good start. Number 3, and this is the nature of my lecture presentation. 30 minutes in on page 2, third point. It's going to take some time, not because I want to drag this out, but because it requires this amount of time. The reason why I say that is because someone invariably always asks me this in the comments. Every series that I do. Why are your series going to be so long? It's not like I don't like being home with my children and my wife. First of all, it's like 7 o'clock in the morning. First of all, because I'm disciplined. So I don't take time away from the family. That's one. Don't flatter yourself. 2, it's this long, it's this tedious because the truth is, I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for myself. I like my information distilled. I want to know every little point. So I overkill it. That's just the nature of it. And hopefully you can bear with the pain and the drudgery of hours and hours and hours of tediously boring lectures. I don't try to make it entertaining at all. Well, maybe a little bit. I'm already back. Anywho. Number 3, the goal of any form of intelligence is to maximize awareness, right? You want to maximize awareness. That's really difficult though, right? Precisely because of deception, and we'll talk about that later. To maximize, I probably should put authentic awareness, but I'm saying it now. But to maximize authentic awareness, what's really going on? I want to be aware of what's really going on. I did a video series on the relationship of known knowns, unknown unknowns, and such, based on Rumsfeld's speech. And it is, the awareness is an awareness of what is out there. What is it like? What's the community? What's the global world like? That awareness requires profound and diligent analysis to be able to get a real sense of what's authentically going on behind the scenes. Very, 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 very few people have the patience or the training to be able to make such assessments. So that's what it requires, right? The goal of any form of intelligence is to maximize awareness, to better inform decision makers. The better informed decision makers are about current and the possibility for future global events, the better they will be in strategically planning their course of action. Right? What we notice then is a much broader, now we can sort of build the industry slowly. I love it. Let's build the industry slowly. We have facts of the matter. We have the intelligence community. The intelligence community is going to pull from facts of the matter. They're going to pull from facts of the matter through the intelligence cycle to create intelligence. Intelligence as product.